Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M, and I am back with yet another video. This time, hopefully, a much shorter one, and this time, not about Hunter Biden, surprisingly. But tonight, whenever you're listening to this, I want to talk about something that I can't seem to personally find a whole lot of good information about, and that is, just like the title of the video says, how to look at art. It's not easy. It is not easy finding good information regarding that topic or to answer that question, how to look at art. I looked through various sources, various places, and I found plenty of how to make art tutorials, how to draw, how to paint, how to sculpt, how to do pottery, how to do collages, how to do all kinds of stuff if you're an artist, or if you're trying to be an artist, or if you're just trying to have some fun. But as far as how to look at art, it's really not there. That kind of information is elusive. I mean, it's there, but they don't really say it out loud. So what I wanted to do is just provide this video as a quick resource, a quick kind of approach to this question, how to look at art, for people who, again, would just like to know a little more about it. Maybe you're a student. Maybe you're taking a course in high school or in college, a survey art history course, or any kind of art history course, or a writing course, and you have to write about a work of art, and you're at a loss. Maybe you go Google stuff, and you find the same stuff that I find or found, but you don't exactly know what to make of it. So I'm hoping that this video will help you a little bit. So once again, I'm going to try and keep this brief because, as you can see from my page here, I tend to ramble a little bit. But let's get started. I've got a couple of links lined up, a couple of pages on the internet lined up. This is the first one. This is one that it seems like a pretty good source to me. This is from the Writing Center at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And it gives you a lot of tips and tools on writing an art history paper. Okay, writing an art history paper. Again, usually if you're a student, that's who this information might reach the most, because especially during the active school season or session or semester or quarter or whatever is going on, you're going to get assignments, and you're going to say, oh gosh, what do I do with this? So here it is, this writing handout, writing in art history. And it gives you 3 types of assignments that they discuss in this article. Visual analysis essays, comparison essays, and last but definitely not least, research papers. And so I'm going to put all of these links in the description under the video. So they're handy dandy. They're right there for you, so you can access them quickly. Here's this first one, visual analysis essays. I'm not going to read through all of this because there's a lot, but they do a good job of organizing this. And if you just read it, and look at this little chart that they've put together, pre-writing, observations, note-taking, what kinds of stuff should you be paying attention to? What kinds of stuff should you be taking notes about when you're looking at a work of art in the preparatory phase, when you're getting ready to write about it? Once again, whether it's an essay or a term paper or whatever, take a look at that. And they use this as an example. I guess I guess it's a good example because you can easily see what it is. It's a couple of pigs, but but I can see why they chose that painting to write about. And then they talk about the composition. They talk about color, technique, shape, and other things, to note when you're looking at a work of art. Then, writing, the actual writing and developing an interpretation. Now, this can be handy for a student or even somebody who's a seasoned professional. Sometimes you don't know where to begin. You have an idea of what you want to write about, but you're not entirely sure. So there's this developing an interpretation, supporting your claims, treading lightly. Don't generalize. They said don't generalize, which is a good bit of advice, because you could be wrong if you make a general statement about something, or you draw some kind of conclusion, some kind of finite conclusion about a work of art, and you say it means whatever, fill in the blank. And there's always the possibility that you could be wrong if you draw a conclusion like that. Or maybe you're not totally wrong, but there's a possibility that you're not totally right either. Or maybe you did hit something. You did observe something noteworthy, but there's still more. That's not the final word. So there's that. Comparison essays, which these are, you're going to find these relatively frequently in art history courses. They're going to ask you to compare and contrast two different things. And there, again, they provide an example. Pigs and a pig. And they're from what looks like two different cultures and two different styles and two different mediums and so on and so forth. So this is good to know how to do. Okay? Prewriting. So you don't just sit down and start writing. No. And that's why a lot of students get overwhelmed and I don't want to say depressed, but they get overwhelmed, they get frustrated, they sit down. Back in the day, you'd sit down with a pen or a pencil and a notepad, and you'd say to yourself, okay, I got to write this essay. Now what? Well, no, that's actually the sitting down and actually writing it part. That's kind of the end. Before that, you do this. You take your notes, you make your observations, you map out in shorthand, what you're going to write about and how. You don't get right to it and start just busting out paragraphs. No, you make lists and you make notes, and you organize what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, what it means. Make sure you clarify what it is you're trying to say to your reader, whoever it is. Usually your professor is going to be your reader, so that's the person you're trying to impress, I guess, for lack of a better word. And then there's this part, developing an interpretation that considers both sources. Okay, go beyond simply stating your topic. This is talking about drafting your thesis. What is the point of your essay? Why are we here? Why should anybody read your essay? And you should let your reader know pretty early on what they're going to get out of reading your essay. Why should they even bother? And yeah, that even goes for your professor too, because, think about it. Think about it. Your professor has stacks and stacks and stacks of those to go through every semester, every quarter. And they're tired. They have to read through all kinds of stuff. And usually it's pretty bad. I'm just being honest. I'm going to be real here. I have no reason not to be real. Usually a lot of the stuff they read, it's obvious that they're, they know what's going on. Your professor knows what's going on. And this doesn't just go for art history or a visual culture type of class or art appreciation. No. This is your English professor. This is your political science professor. This is your economics professor, your philosophy professor, and so on and so forth, and etc. All of these professors and high school teachers, they have to, they have to go through all of these papers. And like I said, they're not all good. Most of them are actually not good. Even the ones that like get A's are hard to read sometimes. And, ask me how I know. I won't, I think you can figure it out. But so when you find something, when you're a reader of essays of any type and any setting and any whatever, and you find a student who's actually really trying, and or that student tries to even add a little humor or a little sparkle to what they're writing, it is just a breath of fresh air, and you automatically want to give them a better grade because you can see that they're really into it, and they, as the saying goes now, what they're saying all over, the student understands the assignment. So that's something to keep in mind. Your professor, they got to read and read and read and read and read, and they'd rather not be, let me tell you. Supporting paragraphs. So they talked about thesis statement, supporting paragraphs. Okay, this is a really good resource. There's a reason I'm showing this to you. I've seen a lot of these from a lot of different websites, from educational institutions. This one seems to, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, this one seems to be the best, or it's like, top shelf. To tread lightly, research papers. Oh my goodness. Research papers are a little bit more involved just because they're usually longer. And it depends. Are you a lower division student, upper division student, high school student, whatever. But when your professor or your teacher gives you that assignment, do me a research paper. Okay, write something. Pick a topic. Sometimes they pick the topic for you, which is it might seem a little condescending on the part of the teacher or the professor, but they're doing it for a reason. If they let you pick the topic, it's not that they don't trust you. It's not that they don't think you can do it. Like, pick a topic successfully, pick a good topic, pick an interesting topic, but they realize that you're just starting out and that you maybe need a little bit of direction. You need to be maybe pointed in the right direction. That's why they'll either just assign you a topic or give you a list of topics to choose from. And once again, that might sound a little condescending, but they're doing it for a reason. They know that once again, you're just starting out and you don't know what you don't know at that point. Look, don't feel too bad about it if you get something like that. If you feel a little offended, like, oh, my professor doesn't think we could do it, No, they do that in upper division. They do that in grad school. They'll just tell you, your professor or your thesis advisor will just say, look, this is what I want you to write about. Okay, go to the library or wherever you do your research and figure it out, go through all the books, go through all the sources, the material, and put together a list of, bring me a bibliography of books and sources, articles, what have you, that has to do with this topic. And that's your first leg of the journey. That's your first assignment in preparation to write your research paper or even your thesis. My goodness. So anyway, here's some of the things, right? Iconography, artistic style and stylistic period, provenance, patronage study, and that's basically what they cover here. They do a great job. This page does, in my opinion. I wish I had had this when I was a student. I wish I had had this. It would have made my life so much easier. Let me just very quickly go through a couple more sources. I'm coming up on 14 minutes. This is from Purdue University, Writing Essays in Art History. Yes. They go through the methodologies. They give you an example of compare and contrast and stylistic analysis and what have you. So, iconography, etc. this is also, it's much more condensed, or much more, it's much more brief than the Chapel Hill one, but it's still good. This is another one from the website howtotalkaboutarthistory.com. How to talk about art history. It's easier than it seems. Yes, this can be a daunting task because you think you like art, and most people do, actually. You're surrounded by it every day, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. And you think you like it until you have to write an essay about it. Then you realize, oh no. Again, you ask yourself, now what? How do I even start? So here's this article, Art History 101, How to Look at an Artwork. Okay? This is important. These are important things to consider. And I'm not going to read through this, but I'm going to, again, leave the link and have you read this if you so choose to do. Really, really good article on this, I think. So that's why I'm providing it as a source for you. This is something I'll cover in my future videos. How to talk about art history. How to look at an artwork. How to look at art, like the title of this video. At least I think that's what I'm going to title it. That's difficult. Somebody trying to teach you how to look at something, that's a little Again, it can feel, or it can be, a little condescending for all kinds of reasons that I don't have the time to get into now because I'm trying to keep this video short. But like I said, I'll cover it in other videos. How to look at an artwork. There's no one way. There are as many ways as there are people. Probably even more than that, because one person can have all kinds of different opinions. I'm gonna show you this too. This is the book written, golly, I don't know when, a while ago. It's been around for a while. How to Look at Art by Susie Hodge. This is it, right? It answers all your questions, right? Whew. This edition was printed in 2015. Okay. Just giving you an example of the literature that's available out there. I'm not going to comment on it, but I'm going to show you that, yes, it does exist. Okay? It does exist. Let me show you one more thing. Hyperallergenic. Is there a right way to look at art? And they kind of just address what I was alluding to a minute ago. Is there a right way to look at art? Can that even be taught? Things to consider. So I'll leave this article for you so you can browse through it or look through it. Then there's also this. There's you, if you happen to be a non-artist. There's the way you look at art, and then there's the way artists look at art. From Met Publications, Metropolitan Museum of New York, The Artist Project, What Artists See When They Look at Art. Interesting, from 2017. And I think, yeah, if you click on this preview, it'll open up into a Google Books page where you can get, I think, a pretty okay preview of it. But that's up to you. That's from the Met Museum. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Right. And then there's also, don't forget this. This is Google Arts and Culture. Why am I putting this here? Because I didn't really know about this until pretty recently. You could visit virtually online just about any museum, or even like a, maybe a little better known gallery. You can visit it virtually on Google Arts and Culture. They have exhibits. They have site visits. You can visit archaeological sites, historical sites in Greece, in Rome, all over the world. It's right here at your fingertips. So if you're an art student or an art history student, art appreciation, what have you, and you're looking for something to write about, this is it. This is it. And maybe in future videos, I'll even put my own little curated Google Arts and Culture galleries, like so. Okay, these are my lists that I've enjoyed putting together so much. But I think that's it, right? I think that's it. 20 minutes, a little bit more than 20 minutes. I've taken up enough of your time. I hope I've provided a couple of resources and a couple of things to think about that might help you. And that's that. Until next time, I would like to say thank you for watching this. Thank you for being interested in it. Please hit the like button if you like it. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments. If you like the channel in general and you want to see more in future videos of what I've got cooking, please do feel free to subscribe. And I will talk at you soon, next week, once again. And until then, I'm going to go ahead and bid you bye-bye, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. Bye-bye. So, bye-bye, everybody.